Alrighty, guys, welcome to our next lesson. Our next lesson is going over the water resources of Russia. The water resources of Russia. So let's get started. When looking at the water resources of Russia, we got to look from generally east or west to east. When looking at Russia, Russia has one of the largest and longest rivers in the world, that Volga River. Now, that Volga River is connected to many different canals. Now, generally, canals can be made naturally, but most of them are man-made. Those canals are cut portions of the earth, which we redistribute the water into places where the river doesn't pass. So those canals then connect to different portions of the country that have a harder access to water. So that Volga River really helps out and really assists in the water distribution of Russia. Russia is also home to many different lakes. Remember, Russia is close to the Arctic Sea, and the Arctic Sea is right directly north of Russia, and it also has the Pacific Ocean to the east. With that, it has a large amount of access to water in which it can support itself, support its vegetation, and support its peoples. Now, most of those people live on the western part of Russia and have easy access to the Volga River. Russia also has access to the Caspian and the Black Sea that is in the southern part of Russia. So the water resources are very large and accessible to the Russians. Also, when looking at water resources, we always need to focus on hydropower. The Russians generally don't use that much hydropower, but they can have access to it. Again, with that Volga River stretching across Russia, with its many lakes, with its access to the Arctic Sea, with its access to the Pacific Ocean, and with its access to the Caspian and Black Sea, it is able to generate a large amount of hydropower. Also, in current events, we look at Russia's involvement in the Ukraine war and its invasion of Ukraine. One of the reasons why Russia wants to invade Ukraine is because Ukraine has great access to the Black Sea. This access to the Black Sea would provide Russia with a large amount of trading possibilities because the Black Sea pretty much has access to Eastern Europe and it's pretty much the gateway to the rest of Europe. So if Russia takes over Ukraine, then Ukraine loses that water access and Russia gains it. So Russia can use that water for its people and for trading all across the world. So access to water is very important, not just for consumption, but also for trade and innovating your country as much as you possibly can. So to wrap up, the water resources of Russia encompass the Arctic Ocean to the north, the Pacific Ocean to the east, the Caspian and Black Seas to the south, and the Volga River and its various lakes. So Russia has a large amount of water resources. Alrighty, that is water resources of Russia. I will see you for the next lesson, climate and vegetation.